I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Could it represent the start of a reversal of fortune for those who've been trying to bring more passenger service to Stewart Airport? Officials with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey hope so. And earlier today, officials with the Stewart Airport operators announced that a fourth air carrier will soon be offering flights into and out of the Newburgh area airport. Las Vegas-based Allegiant Air will provide 2 flights a week to St. Petersburg, Florida, Thursdays and Sundays, beginning October 31st. Stewart Airport manager Richard Heslin says it's a step in the right direction at a time when many airports have been losing passengers, flights, and millions of dollars.
Some tough times at Stewart as well. But we have remained confident that this airport, which we recognize as such a critical anchor for the regional economy, still has its best days ahead of it. And today is one of those days. Today we're welcoming a 4th commercial airline to Stewart, and we could not be more excited about that. We believe that this is just the start. A modest start, but a start nonetheless, of bigger and better things for Stewart.
Allegiant had served Stewart with flights to Florida in 2005, but halted them in early 2007. Allegiant officials say they are now confident the region will support the flights to St. Petersburg, even with continuing JetBlue flights to 2 other Florida destinations, Orlando and Fort Lauderdale.
The customer that we're really going after is the budget-conscious customer, the customer who wants the absolute lowest fare they can get. And they're a leisure traveler, where other airlines are focused on the business traffic and they're focused on high frequency, on daily service. We're going to go less frequency. We're going to go, again, after that vacationing customer.
Heslin says another factor in Allegiant Air's decision to return to Stewart, the airport's air service incentive program that waives certain air carrier fees for 2 years. A state police confrontation with a distraught man ended tragically early this morning outside a residence near the Taconic Parkway and Carpenter Road in the Dutchess County community of East Fishkill, where a man armed with a handgun was shot dead by a state trooper after the man pointed his gun at an officer, bringing to an end 5 hours of tense negotiations. The victim has been identified as 40-year-old John Terzani of East Fishkill. Police say the standoff began after officers had responded to a report of a domestic incident at the residence. State police say earlier attempts to subdue Terzani with a taser failed, and that the officer fired only after Terzani had pointed his gun and threatened to fire. Investigators with the New Windsor Police Department are trying to determine the cause of an accident that took the life of a driver. It happened shortly before 5 p.m. Monday when an SUV veered off River Road, rolled over, and slammed into a utility pole. 65-year-old Robert Dodge was pronounced dead shortly after being rushed to St. Luke's Cornwall Hospital. Dodge was the only one in the vehicle. Central Hudson spent several hours at the scene making repairs to downed wires. A man with an extensive criminal record is headed to state prison after getting sentenced to 13 years in Ulster County Court. 41-year-old Roy Scippio of Kingston had been convicted on felony weapons possession charges in connection with a shooting on Broadway in Kingston 2 years ago. Police say Scippio used a handgun to shoot a man in the arm. A county jury acquitted Scippio of assault charges, but convicted him on 2 counts of weapons possession. His criminal record includes 4 felony convictions, plus misdemeanor convictions for manslaughter and assault. Meantime, in Monticello, police have charged a village resident with felony weapons possession following a violent run-in with police officers after responding to a report of a fight where a knife was pulled and a threat to kill was made. Police tracked down 29-year-old Paul DiLorenzo. Officers say he jumped out of his vehicle, threatened the responding officers, and was taken into custody after a struggle. Search of DiLorenzo and his vehicle turned up an assortment of drugs as well as the knife that police say was used to threaten the other man. Democrat Roxanne Donnery's name will appear on another ballot line in the race for Orange County Executive in November, now that she's turned in more than the necessary number of signatures to create the Had Enough Party on Orange County's general election ballot. Donnery started the petition drive after Curious Joel political leaders took action to try to remove her from the Working Families Party line. by forcing her to run against write-in candidates in a working family's primary next month.
But it's having a second line because of the politics of New York State is really a benefit. And they thought that they knocked me down and knocked me out. And as usual, Roxanne Donnery is not going to stay down too long. I organized, made the decision that I would form an independent party and naming it the Had Enough Party, because no matter who I spoke to in my county, they've had enough.
Donnery's opponent, Steve Newhouse, will be on the Republican, Conservative, and Independents party lines in the November 5th general election. And Orange County legislators have voted to approve the county's Greenway Compact as a way to help preserve nature in the region through what supporters say will be intelligent land use planning. County passage of the compact will make Orange County eligible for additional state grant money and provides planning documents for resource protection, economic development, and public access. But not everyone speaking out last night was a fan of the Greenway Compact concept. Gordon Shehab of Chester said it could lead to more land use restrictions, while legislator Tom Pawhucki said he was worried the lure of grant money could lead to policies that won't necessarily benefit residents. Well, be prepared to deal with more humidity for the next couple of days. Wednesday will be warm and humid with temperatures up around 90 degrees under a partly sunny sky. A mix of sun and clouds in the forecast for Thursday, with the high levels of humidity and the chance of late-day thunderstorms. The highs again will be at or near 90. Get the information you need to start your day in the Times-Herald Record, and keep clicking back here at Record Online to stay on top of breaking news. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.